What's going on, guys? My name is Steve. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. Today I'm joined again by my wife, Lindsay, and we are going to be reacting to the untold story of Ireland's most notorious prison. I'm not 100% sure how you pronounce the name of this prison. It is Port Laoise Supermax. I'm not sure if this is Louise or Laos or Lisa
or Lousy.
Lousy? It might be Lousy. I'm not really sure, but guys, let us know in the comments how you pronounce this. But I'm guessing in the video itself, they're probably going to pronounce, this name correctly. So we'll probably learn that in the video. Super excited about this one, guys. I love this type of topic. Prisons, police, first responders. I love to see how this type of thing works in countries outside of the US. And this is the first time I'm exploring something like this from Ireland. So I think this will be very interesting. I was actually going to do this video by myself, but surprisingly, Lindsay said she was interested in this, and I didn't expect she would be. So that's a pleasant surprise. I always like doing videos with Lindsay whenever she is interested in it. So, all right. So Port Laoise Prison, again, have no idea how to say this.
Port Laoise.
But okay, it's down southwest of Dublin.
So this is a maximum security prison?
Yeah, I believe so. It's a supermax. So I think that's why it's notorious.
So like the really
hardcore people probably go here, I'm guessing. Let's go ahead and jump in here and check out the untold story of Ireland's most notorious prison.
Welcome to Port Laoise Prison, Ireland's most secure correctional facility.
Or
This high-security prison is a melting pot of the country's most dangerous and infamous inmates. From bloodthirsty members of the IRA to the notorious Kinahan cartel, this is where the creme de la creme of criminals are sent, subject to a stringent regime like no other. Within these towering walls, every landing is a kingdom ruled by a merciless top dog.
Did you see that?
Kind of, it went too fast.
Yeah, it did go fast. Where did it go?
That was the outside of it?
Is that it right there? Or is this somewhere down here? That looks crazy, whatever that is. Maybe that's a stadium. Yeah, okay. It went so fast I couldn't see. But so is this the toughest prison in Ireland? That's what it sounds like, based off what he's saying so far.
These towering walls, every landing is a kingdom ruled by a merciless top dog who upholds the underworld's laws with an iron grip. Until his release in 2021, the absolute ruler of this prison was none other than convicted murderer Brian Rattigan, his influence stemming from his monopoly on the illicit drug trade behind bars. As the saying goes, whoever controls the black market trade in prison wields the scepter of power. But who reigns supreme within the walls of Port Laoise Prison today? Who are the prominent figures commanding the various wings? In this video, we'll guide you through the labyrinthine cell blocks, unveiling the identities and roles of these enigmatic figures. Our journey begins in cell block A1, located in the infamous A-Wing. Within these walls resides one of Ireland's most feared gangsters, Fat Freddie Thompson. He's serving a life sentence for the 2016 murder of David Douglas, a shocking crime committed in front of Douglas's own 14-year-old daughter.
Oh, man.
Fat Freddie's reputation for trouble follows him even behind bars. In recent weeks, he displayed his anger and grief by smashing up his cell following the death of his mother. Adding fuel to the fire, he was caught with a contraband phone, going to extreme lengths to hide the evidence by swallowing the SIM card. This discovery triggered a series of searches, uncovering even more illicit phones concealed within TV sets.
Okay, I just want to say, if this is like the maximum security prison, it looks pretty clean and nice.
It looks clean.
It looks like almost like a hospital or
this can't be
like a game room. They have
it is a game room. What? Wait, what? They have a game room in the Supermax?
That's kind of surprising.
Like way I look at prisons is like, depending on what you did, your punishment should be more severe.
Right.
If you're in for something that was, just not violent or something like that, and you're in for 5 or 10 years for something that's not
Right, you made a small mistake. And
right. I think sure you can maybe have a game room or something like that. But if you are one of these hardcore gang members that have like
a murderer,
yeah, like you should never. You should be in your cell with no TV and like
yeah.
I mean, just yeah. Anyway, this looks very, like you said, it kind of looks like a hospital a little bit. But you know what? Maybe the privileges are set for people who aren't.
Even the cell, though, did you see it? It was like super clean and nice.
I was about to say, there ain't no way I'd want to be in that cell.
I wouldn't want to be in there, but I'm saying compared to our prison cells, like, looked a lot nicer.
Yeah, they're pretty. Yeah.
Once television privileges were revoked for everyone, causing resentment among the inmates. The phone incident also strained the relationship between Fat Freddy and his cousin, who shares the A1 block. Liam is serving an 8-year sentence for his involvement in the Kinahan cartel's plot to assassinate Gary Hanley, an alleged associate of the Hutch gang. Despite
8 years
alliance during the Crumlin-Drimner feud,
it seems like a low
arose when Freddy implicated Liam as the owner of the confiscated phones. This betrayal has led to deep animosity between the once trusted cousins. As their feud intensifies, Freddy now seeks a transfer to Limerick prison, despite its notorious reputation as Ireland's worst jail. Our journey continues in the adjacent cell block, A2.
So Limerick prison's worse than this one?
Reigns as the ruling boss.
I don't know.
Tossie is serving a life sentence for the savage murder of Gareth Hutch, nephew of the notorious Jerry the Monk Hutch, in 2016, an act committed amidst the harrowing Kinahan-Hutch feud. Gareth, a father of one, fell victim to a hail of bullets as he prepared to enter his car outside his flat, forever altering the lives of those involved. While Johnny Keogh was the gunman responsible for the fatal shot that fateful morning, individuals like Tossie Fox were enlisted by the Kinahan cartel as hired guns.
I don't know where these nicknames come from.
I know.
Fat, Tossie.
Circle. They found themselves caught in the crosshairs of the deadly feud, reluctantly joining the cartel's payroll. As we move to cell block A3, we enter a realm of heightened danger, housing some of the country's most volatile prisoners. This is where Warren Dumbrell, a man feared even among the prison walls, commands respect as the top dog. Warren and his brother Jeffrey were handed life sentences for the merciless killing of Christy Corley in 2006, a father of 6 who suffered a brutal attack at the hands of the Dumbrell brothers, witnessed by his own children.
Oh man, that's
The
horrible.
brothers relentlessly beat and stabbed Christy as he lay defenseless on a stairway. Due to their notoriety for violence, the murder trial demanded an exceptional security operation. However, their reign of terror did not cease within the prison walls. Jeffrey Dumbrell, once considered one of the country's most dangerous inmates, unleashed threats and attacks on prison staff, including a female nurse. He was labeled a high-risk prisoner, but later transformed into a model inmate. In contrast, Warren's violent tendencies persisted, marking his place in the prison system's hall of infamy. In 1997, he orchestrated the notorious Mountjoy prison siege, subjecting officers to a harrowing hostage ordeal. With syringes containing HIV-infected blood, he chillingly threatened to inject and kill one officer every 20 minutes.
What?
Warren received a 10-year sentence for his role in the mayhem.
That's it?
Resumed his violent ways upon his release in 2006.
Man.
No wonder.
In
I think here you'd probably get 30 years in prison for that.
Midlands prison, situated adjacent to Portlaoise, but with a lower security level. It was here that he struck an unlikely alliance with none other than Fat Freddy Thompson. Bonding over a shared interest in boxing, Warren became Freddy's protector or minder. Yet they were not the sole notorious figures within Midlands prison. Gang killer John Dundon, serving time for orchestrating a botched murder in which innocent rugby captain Shane Gagan fell victim in 2008, joined their ranks. Dundon represented the Dundon-McCarthy mob, embroiled in a horrific feud with the opposing Keane Calliope gang, an era of terror that plagued Limerick City's gangland landscape. Amidst their time in Midlands, tensions escalated, culminating in a clash between Warren Dumbrell and John Dundon. The encounter left Warren with a fractured hand after he struck a gate, prompting prison wardens to put their lives on the line to quell the disturbance. Now Warren Dumbrell, believed to have suffered a brain injury during his youth, finds himself biding his time in Portlaoise's formidable A-Wing. Here, most inmates face an enhanced regime, subject to heightened security measures. Unchanged in his standing, Warren remains among the top 10 most dangerous prisoners in the country. On cell block A4, the most prominent figure is still facing trial, so that means we can't go into detail about him. And cell block A5 is the punishment landing, where, for example, Fat Freddy was placed after the phone incident. Next
So, like,
stop is cell block
solitary?
C1,
Yeah, I think
the
so.
C-Wing, where the notorious Desi O'Hare, known as the Border Fox, reigns supreme.
Border Fox.
Desi, a former member of the IRA turned INLA, was once the most wanted man in Ireland. Currently serving a 7-year sentence for the 2015 kidnapping and assault of Martin Byrne, a Mansfield
7
staff
years?
member, his presence commands attention and respect.
These sentencings are so light.
I think maybe not all. Some of them were obviously in life,
the
but
ones they're mentioning though.
Bet. Unlike Fat Freddy, Desi is a stark contrast, a model prisoner who engages in activities such as yoga and abstains from drugs. The C1 landing also plays host to individuals as the likes of Jim Mansfield Jr., an Irish businessman convicted in January 2020.
I wonder, in Ireland, do they do the same like they do here in the U.S.? Like, if you get a 20-year sentence, you serve maybe 12 years of it, and if you did good behavior, you might be able to get out on parole. Not everybody can do that, right? Not everybody has that type of sentence, right? But a lot of people do. Even people that do really like heinous acts of 30, they get 30 years in prison or 40 years in prison, they might be able to get out in, say, 20, 25 years or something like that, a little bit early on good behavior and stuff. Is that the same in Ireland too? Or basically, if you get a 20-year sentence or a life sentence, it means that's it. You don't get back out. I'd love to know if that's the same here. I'm saying same there as it is here, or if it's different.
For attempting to pervert the course of justice related to Martin Byrne's kidnapping. Desi's reputation extends beyond his criminal past. In the prison system, he is known for looking after those who are new or unfamiliar with the harsh realities of incarceration. This unexpected role stands in stark contrast to his infamous status as a psychotic killer, notorious for abductions that often involved gruesome acts of mutilation, such as the severing of fingers and ears. Remarkably, during his time in Portlaoise prison, Desi underwent a profound transformation. He delved into the realms of anthropology, psychology, metaphysics, and yoga, claiming to have discovered a divine force within himself.
Well, if that's
Within
true,
the
that's
prison
good.
walls, Desi formed
Yeah,
a
it's
lifelong
much
friendship
better.
with crime godfather Eamon Kelly, who was gunned down near his home in 2012. Although never an official member, Kelly had ties to the IRA, leading to his placement in the same landing as Desi in the past. Republican prisoners often found themselves sharing the same space. However, Eamon Kelly's criminal exploits far surpassed his association with the IRA. He made a name for himself as a cocaine trafficker and mentored several prominent underworld figures, including Christy Kinahan, who became a longtime associate. Which brings us to the Kinahan wing of Portlaoise Prison, cell block C3. Here, senior cartel member Peter Keating has assumed the mantle of leader of the Kinahan
floor up there.
since his arrival in the prison. Keating is currently serving an 11-year sentence for his involvement in a botched hit on James Mago Gately, a known associate of the Hutch Gang, back in 2017. Within the cartel, Keating was the go-to individual when a gunman was needed, as demonstrated in the plot to eliminate Gately, where Estonian hitman Imre Arakas was recruited. Interestingly, Keating was once employed in the prison's kitchen. However, his role came to an abrupt end when it became apparent that the majority of the illicit drug supply entering Portlaoise prison was being facilitated through the kitchen, with the control firmly in the hands of Keating and other inmates aligned with the Kinahan cartel. Within the C3 block, one can also find individuals associated with the Byrne organized crime group, led by the notorious figure Bomber Kavanagh. The Byrnes, heavily connected to the Kinahan cartel, add another layer of influence and power dynamics to this intriguing section of the prison. It's worth noting that if the Kinahan cartel's upper echelons were ever captured and brought back to Ireland, it's highly likely that they would find themselves confined within the secured walls of the C3 block in Portlaoise prison. This is where the cartel's presence looms large and where the intricate web of criminal activity and alliances plays out behind the prison walls. Besides them, on cell block C4, we encounter yet another fascinating character who reigns as the top dog. Meet Ali Adnan Duran, a figure of English and Turkish descent and a notorious Turkish mafia boss with grand plans to flood the streets of Ireland with heroin. Currently serving a lengthy 9-year sentence, Duran's criminal ambitions were thwarted when he was apprehended alongside another Turkish mafia associate while attempting to forge an alliance with a notorious gang known as the Family. It was during this operation that law enforcement seized a staggering €1 million worth of heroin. As one of Ireland's largest heroin syndicates, the Family operates extensive supply routes spanning England and Turkey.
Wow.
Now let's venture to the final landing we'll explore in this video, E1. This is where the Republican dissidents are housed. In the past, the Portlaoise prison population comprised a significant number of Republican figures associated with groups like the Provisional IRA and INLA. However, over time, their presence has gradually diminished. Despite the dwindling numbers, the dissident IRA members still receive a distinct regime separate from the gangland criminals. This distinction is rooted in historical practices, as the Provisional IRA was permitted to organize within the prison's walls. Consequently, these inmates are granted a certain level of freedom as they are informally recognized as political prisoners.
All right. What I was hoping to find in this video was walking us through the prison and getting to see the ins and outs. That's what I was hoping this was, the untold story of Ireland's most notorious prison. I thought it was going to be
not just like a breakdown of the people who are there.
Right. Which is interesting. Definitely some. Is she calling? No, she's talking. That's our daughter's like laughing at the movie down there, I think. But it was just I really wanted to see like more than just about the people. I wanted to see like the ins and outs of how the prison system works within Ireland. I wanted to see like, what this prison looked like and kind of what solitary confinement looked like, what the cells looked like. That's what I thought it would be about too. So this was definitely a little bit different from what I expected, but definitely learned you guys have your fair share of gang issues.
I was really surprised. I mean, I know it's a thing there, but I didn't realize how bad it was and how prevalent.
How many gangs there seems to be there. Like, when I think of Ireland, I just don't think of that. Like, I just don't think of, like, gangs and stuff. It's just not what comes to my mind.
So much smaller, you would think there wouldn't be as much of
that level.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I feel like that's a lot for a small country. It seems like there's a lot of I don't know how many gangs they were talking about here, but
so what is the animosity mostly about? Is it about religion? Territory? What is?
Well, we know that the issue with the split between Northern Ireland and Ireland is mostly on a religious basis. The Catholics versus Protestants. At least that's what it used to be. And that's what I've learned. I'm sure there are other aspects to it, which I'm sure some people can chime in the comments and kind of let us know a little bit more about what the infighting is on the entire island of Ireland. Is it just about religion, or is there other bits and pieces to it? I'm sure there's other things to it, right? There's got to be other things than just religion. But I know it's one thing that it kind of surprised me when I first looked into it, how much fighting and how Protestants and Catholics have looked at each other, at least historically, in Ireland. Like I look at how we are here in the U.S. and Catholics and Protestants don't like. There's no anything between them
animosity
at all. Like it's like they think of each other as having the same religion basically, and they don't like just some different details about the way they practice that religion. So it's really, really interesting how in Ireland, I think in England, and I'm sure some other countries as well, the Catholics and the Protestants have this division that it's hard for someone like us and here in the U.S. to really understand fully because it's something we just can't. It just doesn't register here. That same.
It's just sad.
Yeah, it is. The religion splits people like that. I mean,
I'm sure it's more than just religion, but
Obviously, when you talk about gangs, gangs are gangs everywhere. They got their territory, they got their interests, whatever they're making their illegal money off of. Sometimes it's drugs, sometimes it's gambling, sometimes it's other shady things, but you know, there's going to be fighting with the territories there and stuff. But I'd be curious to know, like, how it really does seem like, based off of just here, it seemed like, I don't know, what was this like? It seemed like there was 4 or 5 different gangs they were talking about,
by the
right?
there. Yeah.
You know, there's the Republicans, and I know there's the IRA, and they're a part of the Republicans. I'm not really sure. Here, the Republicans are just a political party. That's it. What exactly does the Republicans encompass in Ireland? Because it seems like it's something way bigger than just a political party. It seems like it has different segments in it, and I have no idea. So I'd like to know that, and I'd like to know, like, you know, why does there seem to be so many gangs in such a small area? I don't know.
Yeah, it's strange.
Is it just about religion, or is there something else going on there? It's got to be something else. But anyway, this was interesting, but I do want to explore, like, actual prisons and things like that, and kind of learn the ins and outs of them than just the individuals that make up those prisons. But still, I learned a little bit here about the prisons in general. I got to see a little bit of the cells here.
Also, yeah, I'm also shocked, though, by, like we kind of discussed already, the light sentencing for pretty heinous crimes.
Yeah, kidnapping. Yeah. Got a 7-year sentence for kidnapping of somebody. Here, I think that would usually be 15 years or so, probably. At least. I mean, not always. I mean, some of that depends on the state. The judge, obviously, can change things. But as a whole, some of these just seem like light sentencing. I don't know. But I really do want to explore, like, who exactly is able to use that game room, for example? Like, can like the hardened criminals, can they come in there and actually use the game room and stuff? That's wild. But I'm sure in some state prisons you might find that here in the U.S. too. I don't know.
Probably.
So, but yeah, guys, you got anything you want to add?
No, it's just a rainy, dreary day.
Yeah, it's a very rainy day, and it's why the lighting is a little bit maybe off. I don't know. But thank you so much for stopping by, guys. Please click that like button. Feel free to drop your comments or suggestions about this video or others. And don't forget to subscribe to continue to follow us on our journey to discover our British and Irish ancestry. Till next time, guys. Peace.
Bye.